Are you lonely this Valentine's Day? More than 3 in 5 Americans are lonely, with more and more people reporting feeling like they are left out, poorly understood, and lacking companionship, according to a new survey released in 2020. According to data from the U.S. Census Bureau, Asian women in the United States are more likely to marry outside of their race, compared to Asian men. Black women in the United States are less likely than black men to marry outside of their race. Asian men are twice as likely as Asian women to be unpartnered, 35% versus 18%. According to data from the U.S. Census Bureau, black women are more likely to be unpartnered than black men. There are parallel and very interesting contributors to these situations that Asian men and black women find themselves in. Asian men and black women have historically been underrepresented and misrepresented in media and popular culture. Asian men in the United States have often been subjected to negative and stereotypical portrayals in media and popular culture, including being portrayed as less masculine. This stereotype, often referred to as the Asian male stereotype, can impact the self-esteem and confidence of Asian men and influence the way they are perceived by others. Black women have also faced a lack of representation in media and popular culture. When they are represented, they are often portrayed as sassy or angry, overweight, and their experiences and perspectives are frequently ignored, dismissed, or parroted. These limited and stereotypical representations have contributed to the dehumanization of black women and the perpetuation of harmful stereotypes, and the marginalization of Asian men and black women in society. The underrepresentation and misrepresentation of Asian men and black women in media and popular culture has had a significant impact on how these groups are perceived and treated in society. It has perpetuated harmful stereotypes, contributed to discrimination, and contributed to a sense of marginalization and exclusion for both groups. Seven contributing factors to Asian men and black women in the U.S. having limited exposure to people of other racial and ethnic backgrounds. 1. Residential segregation. Asian men and black women in the U.S. are more likely to live in neighborhoods that are predominantly their own, which can limit their exposure to people from different racial and ethnic backgrounds. 2. Socioeconomic factors. Asian American men tend to have higher levels of education and income, while black women tend to have lower levels of education comparatively, which can lead to increased residential segregation and limited exposure to each other and others from different racial and ethnic backgrounds. 3. Cultural attitudes. Some Asian men and black women place a strong emphasis on maintaining cultural and ethnic traditions, which can discourage interaction with each other and people from different racial and ethnic backgrounds. 4. Language barriers. Some Asian Americans may have limited proficiency in English, which can make it more difficult to form relationships with people from different racial and ethnic backgrounds. 5. Workplace dynamics. Asian and black American women are more likely to work in industries and jobs that have a high concentration of same-culture employees, which can limit their exposure to each other and people from different racial and ethnic backgrounds. 6. Historical and systemic barriers. Asian Americans and black people in general have faced significant barriers to economic and social mobility, including discrimination and prejudice, which can limit their exposure to each other and people from different racial and ethnic backgrounds. 7. Personal preferences. Many black women and Asian Americans prefer to socialize and form relationships with people from similar cultural and ethnic backgrounds, which limits their exposure to people from different racial and ethnic backgrounds. The good news: none of these barriers are insurmountable and most can be solved by simple open-mindedness. There are dating services like LasiaandLoveForever.com dedicated to uniting black women and Asian men. Hundreds of friendships and love connections are happening every day. Whether you're looking for friendship or a serious relationship, drop down in the comments and let us know your willingness or your experiences with Asian man, black women relationships or dating services. Happy Valentine's Day!